Hello, can you hear me? Can someone hear me? Okay, thanks. Okay, sorry. Let's just give a few minutes so that the others will join us. Then we start. Okay.
All right. Okay.
Okay, thanks. And then that was a webinar to boost your analytics skills. So we realized that from there were a couple of things that we still needed to look at, like the future of our analytics profession. And one of the things that kept coming up was the fact of will it be replaced by machines, all those kind of questions, and then what are the skills that we need to acquire. So that is why we're in this webinar, I hope to briefly explain to you some of the things that I see as the future, and then we share now in terms of question and answers, what are some ideas, what are some things that we think are troublesome, and then at the end of the day, we are better prepared to face the challenge. So okay. I think I'll just start. Let me share my screen so that we go quickly. Okay, let me share my screen. So okay. There are some people, let me admit them in. Admit them. Okay. So, can you see my screen?
Yeah, I can see your screen.
Okay.
Yes, we can see your screen.
Okay, that's fine then. Let me just, okay. Okay, so let's start. So today we are going to look at 4 major things. So the first one is about who is a data analyst, because I also realized when we ask people to prepare some questions for us to discuss here, there are some people who we need to still introduce what the data analyst does so that we are able to be on the same page, number one. And then number two, we're going to look at the future of the future that holds for us analytics professionals. And then number three, we are also going to look at the key skills that we need to be able to navigate the terrain. And then we need to look at what are some things that we need to do. And then at the end, we'll look at, we'll have a question and answer session. So time to time, I'll just check in with you. For now, I want everybody to turn off their mic, but then time to time, I'll check in with you to be sure that we're on the same page, because at times we might go out of connection. So I would want to check in time to time to be sure that we are following through. Okay, so let me just hide this one. Okay, so let me start. So first of all, who am I? So I'm Cyril Bandolo. I've occupied roles like data analyst, business analyst, data scientist. I've worked for more than 10 years as an analyst in those mixed roles. And also I'm a freelancer on Upwork. So that's where also I do most of my data science tasks on Upwork, where I do lots of web scraping, machine learning, so those kind of related with Python and a bit of R. And then also I'm the owner of the YouTube channel Data Science with Cyril, which is focused on helping to teach data science. And I think some of you have also seen, some of you who are in the WhatsApp group, we are trying to create a community for data science. And then we also have data analysts and data science, because at some point in time, I just think a data analyst is like a data scientist in the making. It's like the first step. Then when you add machine learning, you can now consider now that you are a full data scientist. So we have advanced skills in Excel and Visual Basics, and then also Python, R, SQL, Power BI, Tableau. So these are tools that I'm using. So I'm not saying that I'm an expert in all of them, but then there are some of them that have gone deep, but there are some that are just average. So those are the skills, those are the stacks. And then you have also the Center for Data. I'm the founder of the Analytics Center for Data, CFD, which is a center which is supposed to promote data analytics and data science functions in terms of training, and also in terms of consulting services, supporting services. So recently, I write a lot of posts. So recently, I'm also one of the guest authors for the KD Nuggets, the top 5 data science blogs. So that is a bit of who am I. So let's move on then. So now, let's just talk briefly about who is a data analyst. So generally, data analysis is the process of collecting, cleaning, analyzing, interpreting, visualizing data to discover valuable insights. So in summary, the whole thing is about giving information to the management or to your company or to the clients based on data that you've collected. Maybe had to do some cleaning, maybe because there were some outliers, there were some not available values. So you have to analyze that, and then you give interpretation, and then sometimes you need to visualize them. Just do like with your Power BI or your Tableau, do some visualizations, and then you're able to give insights to drive business decisions. So let's move on then. So now, per industry, some of you want to know how is this applied in some industries. So that is why we come up with, like, for example, telecom. A data analyst in the telecom industry would typically be doing things like customer segmentation. That is why when you have your phone, your phone subscription, you have maybe your friend or your neighbor or somebody has different packages when he tries to consult the list of offers that he has, or receive different messages based on the consumption pattern that the person is emitting. So they try to segment you into different profiles, and then they try to send a specific message target based on your behavior. So those are roles that data analysts should do, and then data scientists can take it to another level with machine learning and deep learning. But at the first level, data analysts able to do that. And then you have also churn control, because the biggest problem for telecom is when customers leave. So the data analyst can help the telecom company to analyze why are customers leaving and be able to propose solutions to stop customers from leaving. Maybe it was some certain products that they buy, then they never come back again. So they have to find a pattern. You have also things like customer lifetime value management, where you can have the analyst is able to tell how long can we expect the customer to stay with us. Some of you might have your SIM card or your mobile numbers for 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, 4 years. So the telecom company is supposed to estimate those kind of how long they with them, and be able to come up with an estimate of, if we spend this amount of money to recruit these customers, cost of acquisition, how much do we expect in return? Maybe he's going to stay here 1 year or 2 years, so we can offer him a Samsung phone for 1 year payment monthly. So those are what analysts can do with telecom. And then for banking, fraud detection, at a small level, the analyst can still be able to help understand patterns of how fraud has been. But this also goes right on with data scientists, who use a lot of complicated stuff to be able to in real time detect transactions that are suspicious, and then maybe send it to send a list in one, and the action can be maybe send it to a list for humans to audit or to check before they validate the transactions. So you also have risk mitigation in bank, which a data analyst help to, in terms of how is this guy risky that we're giving the loan to? What are some criteria that we need to look at before giving the loan to this guy? So you're able to assess and validate if we should accord this loan or not. And then we also have product development and portfolio optimization. We might observe that people want to go more to the ATM machines to withdraw their money, or they come to the banks. So we need to create products based on their behavior, and people with high savings, how do they behave? Should we propose them deposit offers? So those are stuff that analysts could do. And then e-commerce too, you have customized offers online. When you go to buy, you start searching for maybe earphones or shoes or something like that. And when you go to Facebook, you see they are proposing those promotions to you. So those are the analysts at certain level. Then you have also machine learning data scientists who take it up to the next level with recommendation systems. But at the basic level, the analyst is also in the chain of that. So you have also supply chain management. It's a very big thing, because you always want to not go out of stock. So you have to have a minimum reorder level. At this level, we are going to reorder we are going to pass the order now. We are going to pass a new command because we are at this level. So in 6 months' time, need to be supplied this thing. So we need to start ordering it now. So that's how an analyst can also help in those kind of logistics kind of companies. And then you also have the risk reduction of fraud. So they also analyze that. For healthcare, those who want to become healthcare analysts and they want to find out how will I contribute to healthcare, you have a monitoring of disease patterns, and that was used in Ebola a lot to be able to track down from the tweets to be able to isolate the area where tweets were coming from, to show that this is the area that we have the outbreak, and then so that they can be able to monitor. And it was used a lot during the pandemic. So that's something that at some high level we can go on with data science, but then analysts, we also need to do that. And then you have to reduce readmissions to hospitals. Normally a patient is not supposed to come back like 6 months to the hospital bed generally. So we try to find factors that cause people to come back. Was it the therapy they took? Was it the drug? So we try to understand that to be able to assist them to help in decision making. And then also you have the development of better vaccines. So with our techniques of simulation and those kind of optimization techniques, we can be able to, now with machines, we can be able to run multiple simulations more than before to be able to determine the effectiveness of vaccines even before trying them on animals or humans. So that's just to show you that data analysts can be everywhere. So because if you look at business planning, at times we set unrealistic goals, and with a good analyst in-house, is able to look at why are we setting this objective at this high rate. We could look at our past data. We could maybe do some benchmarking of competitors to understand what are the correlations. So you have that. How can we set a realistic goal for this year? You have also making effective business decisions. So like for pricing, as we said, inventory management, even for human resource, how many people should we recruit now? What are the resources we need now? So these are analysis that need to be done. So you have that's why you have even edge analytics to be able to analyze who are the people from the interview. We can determine if there will be high performance in 10 years time, 5 years time if we recruit them. So those are also analytic things we need. We use in the human resource industry in the sector. Then you also have for the segmentation and personalized offers, which we talked about, targeted campaigns and offers. And then for operational efficiency, generally reducing costs and increasing revenue. So if we look at it generally, data analysts, you use it everywhere. You just understand that you could use it. You might not really necessarily look at it like it's like an industry or it's thing that I'm going to get it somewhere. It's all over the place, even in the market. So the people who are selling lots of stuff that they could benefit from some small analysis or some small tracking of the activities to be able to decide that this is where it's more performant or these are the hours that are less performant. So I mean, generally, it's just a fact that the analyst, just to show you that it is needed at every levels, and technology is only coming to make it easier or faster. So now there's also one thing that from the questions I received, we should clarify ourselves before we move on. So there's a difference between data analyst, the data scientist, and the data engineer. Generally, if you look at it here, let me just come up here. Look at it here. Here we see that there is this data communication and business domain knowledge. So, and math statistics. So the data analyst, we don't expect too much of programming from the data analyst, like we expect it from the data scientist. So that's why I say, if I look at a data scientist, like, okay, after you've done some data analysis, you want to learn some software engineering or some programming, you go deeper into programming, then you can also occupy the role of a complete data scientist. While a data engineer the skills are mostly math, statistics, and then software engineering, but not too much of the business side as such. But then if you look at it in a company setting, the data engineer's main problem is, do I have a backup for my data? If I have a balance of 1,000 today, the other person has a balance of 2,000. Can we tomorrow, and then I find myself having 2,000 and another person having 1,000. How do I? So that's more of what the data engineer is more of, making sure that the data share, the data is in the tables are in order and the most efficient way for the data analyst or the data scientist to come and collect from there and do analysis. So the data analysis is usually more focused with the first few stages of exploratory data analysis, data mining, but not far into machine learning and deep learning like the data scientists. So let's move on now to the next. So now, what is actually the future? What lies ahead? So if you see, if generally, there's been evolution of everything ever since. So even with digital marketing, even with it's correlated. Even in the 1980s, before the coming of computers, programmers had this issue of before we had all this rise of web developers, front end, back end. Back then, when the internet was not there, all of a sudden, with the coming in of internet from the 1980s till now, you see there was a big rise of web developers, software developers. And then now, right now, what we are seeing now is the rise of AI, because we can say that we had Excel did its job here. Now, Excel is still in use with some companies and some bosses that you need to come down to communicate with them before you go your black box Python and do your heavy things. But then as big data is coming, as things are increasing, because not everybody is having big data in his company right now. So as things are increasing, we are seeing that we are moving more towards more and more automation, which is kind of like unstoppable, because it is like the trend. It has to move. It has to move. We can't stop. So we just have to find a way to blend in with the trend, which is moving more of. We are moving towards taking advantage of extended big data to increase accuracy. And we're relying now on powerful models to consider demand drives such as promotional details, new product. So social media, we are taking in from the big data hype, the fact that we are now having Internet of Things, smartwatches, smartphones, too much data now. So we are now supposed to move faster to the next level. So now, if you notice, the clear thing is that there is an increase. We all notice this drop here, like most professions, due to the lockdown, because like India, for example, is the highest supplier of analytics talents in the world right now. So this is the data science jobs in India. So if you look at it, there has always been a steady increase for the data science job as the technology is increasing, as things are becoming faster and better. We are seeing that this was just a small period last year where there was that panic. But then all of a sudden, as soon as things went up, lockdown was out and things started getting better, we started seeing that increase and the boom. So now it is instead increasing more. And then we learned a lot from the lockdown. Lots of digital, many people started going to create their websites, started trying to go online, because those who did not have online stores suffered as people were not able to move out. So there's that boom again of going digital and then going online and then making smart systems, because if websites are online, some of them will still need recommendation systems to be able to recommend better products to customers. So it's increasing and it's showing that we have no problem with demand. Now, if we look at the analytics process as it's always been and how it's going to be affected in future. So just to check, can anybody turn on the mic and confirm if you're getting me?
I am getting you, Vandolo. This is Jasmine. I'm getting you.
Okay. Okay, thanks. Okay, then that's fine. Okay, thanks. Okay, just to be sure. So the analytics process, this is who we are. And I think this is who we will always be. So it starts with the problem frame, business problem frame. What are we trying to solve? Which problem are we trying to solve in reality? And at the end of the day, will I use descriptive analysis, prescriptive analysis, predictive analysis, diagnostic analysis? What is really the problem we want to solve? We need to be clear here. This is a very important step. So next thing is, what is the data now that we need to collect? Do we have them or we don't have them? Do we need to go and buy them? Or we can just try to use what we have? Now, next thing is we need to clean the data to do all of that so that it fits the output we want to send out. So this is the exploratory data analysis phase, which if with your Tableau or your Power BI, you end here as a data analyst, you can end your career here with these first 4 steps. It might be enough for you. So these are where now we expect the data scientists to shine. by building, understanding machine learning models and deep learning models, and then probably going themselves online and deploying them like MLOps, like in cloud, like AWS, like Google Cloud, so that on their own, they understand their models better. So the software engineer who used to help the data scientists, or now says machine learning engineer should come alone and take care of his apps online, because like the DevOps job, we are looking now the MLOps job, because you should go and do your apps yourself, manage it yourself, maintain it yourself, because some of the things there we don't even understand. The machine learning comes with two errors that we need to check. We need to check if the software, if your model is efficient, is fast enough, or is clean, or we can replicate it, we can use it all the time. And then we need to check again if your analysis are correct. So at times we just need a good machine learning person to come on his own and do all that check. That's why you have MLOps, where you start from maybe your S3 from the cloud, from the storage, right up till you do all your analysis predictions here, build your endpoint, everything here, because we expect you to do it on your own, and we don't want to recruit two people for that. So which means that what would change now in the problem framing, which is our part of our analytics cycle, is the fact that businesses from the pandemic, they started focusing on short-term objectives, and they also want us to be faster with our models, so that we achieve things, we are able to see quickly where we are going to. So which is still calling automation and calling fast, more advanced skills. Now, we also see that digitalization channels are being prioritized, because we never know if something like this could happen again. And then everybody is like, it's better, I should have the digital. Now, like this, for example, we are on Zoom. There are many programs that are now going online, that before we had to be face-to-face. Some people are still working from home. Many people are still working from home. So we still think that this is changing. A lot of people are still moving. We've seen a huge increase in jobs online. I'm on Upwork. I've seen a huge increase in jobs online for web developers and things going online, digital channels. So you also have the fact that now we are like there's a need now for us in the future to include more experts, more data. Where are the legal guys? What do you see? Where are the weather guys? We need lots of other inputs, not just our past company data, where we just go there and then do our forecast from, we sold 10,000 for the past last year, so we have to sell 15,000. No, it's more of like, given the fact that we are we are not, the company doesn't exist in a vacuum. It exists along competitors, along legal system, along so that we are able to see things that could happen out of the company before they happen. So we also have this security challenge. That is why, if you've seen recently, there's a lot of hype on the security analysts, cyber security. So because people now went home and then they were now having phishing attacks and all that from them. So let's move on. Now, what changed? What is the change that we are expecting for data, and from data collection right up to the exploratory data analysis? We are expecting that the analysts will need to bring in more data than just what we had at hand. So, and the next thing now is that the companies are expecting things to be faster. We've seen a lot of new companies pitching every day, new auto ML companies coming out every day, that they are now automating the parts of, or some are even claiming that they are automating almost all of what the data scientist has to do. So this is, you will see that we are expecting you to be faster in your exploratory data analysis, and automation is supposed to be there. We're expecting you to be faster when you're doing your cleaning, data cleaning. So it's a game of speed, and at the same time, accuracy and clear communication when you're doing your dashboards, because we need to be clear, where are we going to? What is happening, so that we are all together and we take the decision together, so that we are not surprised by maybe all of a sudden we get some information that we're not expecting. So there is a need for the communication to be very clear and precise. And then for the data scientists, when they continue with their modeling, data analysts, we expect them to this is not their core skill, but adding this is a plus. We expect that the modeling, like the AutoML, like the modeling should be faster. The hyperparameter tuning, we're already seeing some like research, we're already seeing some, there are lots of lots of packages and applications that help you to do your hyperparameter tuning for those who are building models and machine learning models and tuning them, which is a very key important part of improving your accuracy of your model. So we need things to go faster, and we need them to be automated so that the machine searches between maybe 10 million or 100,000 simulations possibilities, and then chooses the best one and proposes to you that this is the best hyperparameters for your model, and this is the accuracy that it gives. So we also have the fact of ML and the cloud services, and then like AWS offering APIs where you can just go and say put your, like Amazon recognition, you can just go and put your picture and then it gives you some output, or to be able to use it to get your devices to video. So there are lots of stuff that there's a high level as a service where you just need to just put in basic inputs and then you get the output. Then there's a level at the platform, there's a level that you go down as an infrastructure, but then these are just showing that many are going in like APIs. So people want things faster. And the good thing about it is that it makes companies to be able to also be attracted to the fact that they can do this thing themselves. Everybody can do it. It's like democratization. So now this, you need to be able to learn incremental learning. After putting the model online, after 2 to 3 months, things change. The behavior, it starts performing poorly. So if we are not maintaining and monitoring the outcome, then we might be misleading the company might be misled. So these are future things that we need to focus on. And then when you see all of these things, we see there's a lot of automation, there's a lot of automation AI. So the fear that I got when I asked people for questions before this webinar, what the general fear was, will AI replace us? The thing with AI is that we really need to talk about this. AI is more replacing routine jobs. It's always been like that. There's routine jobs and there's creative jobs. And then parts of our jobs are routine. So take a calculator, for example. You need a calculator to calculate things for you. So you might not need to do it with your head. You could calculate the things yourself. But you use that calculator, and together with the calculator, you are powerful. So instead now, the AI now instead should be on our advantage. Why? Because the first thing is that it's going to make your job faster. You used to spend almost 50% of your time cleaning the data. And now if it can do some of those tasks for you, you'll be able now to use your time to go and look for more business problems to solve, go and present solutions, and be able to come up with more creative and communication that AI cannot do. And then also the company who was doubting about picking up data analysts, recruiting data analysts or recruiting data scientists also will see that, okay, it's easy, it can be done maybe in a few minutes. So I just need to recruit somebody to come and do that for me. Before it was not, because I see many companies who are not yet fully there. So when they realize that, okay, it's easy, it can be done, then you see it instead creates more opportunities for us who are able to even train those models. Because don't forget, an AI-driven model might not be as accurate most of the time as you when you go in and then you are able to check. At times it gives the average. It's just like people who do music. There are some softwares that came up for mastering music. So you could put your music somewhere. I think there's one called like Landr, LANDR. You put your music there and then it masters it for you. But why do people still need engineers? Because at times it's just an average. But each song or each test, you might have a specific feeling that you want to create. So you don't just want the average mixing or the mastering. You want it to be done by an engineer with all the details carefully done. So it will still instead create you now to need somebody to come and either train or supervise those models or check if they are doing the right thing. Because what if the model completely misleads us and then we keep following the model? So AI can never be fully given 100% task. Imagine you leave your baby and say you have AI to take care of the baby for the whole day. You might be wanting AI to be reporting to you, sending you images every 30 seconds or every 30 minutes, to say, what is the state of the baby? What's the state of the baby? Just to be sure. But if you left the baby with your sister or your cousin or your wife or your husband, you can go for a month knowing that I know that the person is capable of 100% handling the situation. So we should not be afraid. We should be able to embrace AI. And that is where, if I want to talk about the future opportunities, we have the fact that domain knowledge is what AI cannot take from us. The fact that I know that this is the business problem that we want to solve now is where we should relate. That's where it should be our strength. Because if we are not that creative, then we are replaced by the machines, because everybody can just go and type something in Python or just make some multiplications or some things without even explaining or knowing what to do. AI cannot come and tell the manager that I've understood that this is what I found out from the data, so this is what we should do. You cannot convince the management. You are the one to take the results, go and sell it to management now with sales skills, that this is what we should implement. I believe in it. I like it. I validate it. So we need to have that domain knowledge. This goes to the data analyst, who needs to understand what the company is all about. How can we add value? And to the data scientist, who needs to understand what is this machine learning model all about. I'm talking about k-nearest neighbor. What is it really about? How is a Euclidean distance calculated? How is the model optimized? What's the cost function of this model? How do I know if I have unbalanced data, maybe for cancer or diabetes? Somebody, maybe I have 100,000 people who are not sick, and just maybe 10 who are sick. What do I do with the model? So I'm just saying that the domain need to go back to the basics, understand the domain knowledge, and be good at that. Not just the fact that it's Python. I can do Python, print this in R, this dot head or what. No, it's about understanding the domain. And then also we need to embrace AI, so that we know that it's like a part of us, like a part of it's like your phone. Some of us, if with the phone, together with the phone, we can do lots of things. Where do I stand? Where's my friend located? Where's the other house I'm looking for? How can I get this? How can I buy this? But without the phone, you need to walk around the street yourself to check things. So we should embrace AI and know that we instead need to encourage that factor of it coming in as a support to be able to boost our capabilities to run faster than we are currently doing, so that our employees or our stakeholders can be more encouraged and more amazed by the value we are providing, and instead create more opportunities for us. And then also there's this thing we need to talk about, which is about learning new tools. As a data scientist, your main goal is solving problems. So if you need to learn new tools, if it is Python now, it might be Julia next 2 years, you need to be able to be ready to switch, to be able to move on with the technology that will help you improve the efficiency of your company and be able to deliver what you promise or what you are here for. So you are not here to show off or to say that I know this language more than anybody else. You're here to solve the business problem with whatever tools, state-of-the-art tools that is there. The business might be now moving to the cloud. You have to move along with the business to the cloud. But then even in the cloud, you still have the probability of coding as infrastructure from scratch, or as a platform, or as a service. So you need to be able to be flexible to learn those tools. Now, we look at visualization is the key to communication. That's why if I see there are many roles coming up with Power BI, Tableau, how do we present something? Because you need to go and communicate it to maybe your boss, who doesn't understand all the details about what is happening under the neural network, or convolutional neural network, recurrent neural. It doesn't need to know all of that. It just wants to see that at the end of the day, this is how it's impacting our business. So we need to be able to create visualizations that are able to tell the story in one word, because a picture is worth 1,000 words. So this is where we should be going to, especially the analysts, so that you are able to tell your manager, okay, from all indication, this is what we need to do. So are we getting? I just want to check. Are you getting me?
Yes, we're getting you.
Okay. Thanks. Good. So now, okay, I went back instead. Sorry. So now we look at these skills. You see that we have to look at the left. There's domain knowledge. It cannot be taken away from us. We need that to be able to stand out. There is communication, problem solving, critical thinking. These are things which are inborn in us. So there might even be other people who are not data analysts. They are able to understand the problem. There might be other people who are not in the field, but then that is where, again, that is not because it's a robot or automation that comes to take over your task. It's because the key thing we need from you is use your domain knowledge, your communication skills, your problem solving skills, your critical thinking, and then you are able to decide that the tool I need to use right now is maybe Excel because my boss doesn't understand any other things. So I have to do everything I've done in my Python R. Then I export the final data, the summary data tables. Then I send it to him here, and then he's able to validate. I'm selling now. He's able to validate my proposal or my app because I sent it to him here. So same as SQL will help me to be able to capture the high volumes of data that we are seeing here. I need maybe to capture it here, SQL. Then I maybe send it through my Python because I even have packages in Python and R which could help with SQL directly. I channel it here or there, and then I continue on my analysis. Because I have an awareness, I understand how all of them correlate. In Power BI or Tableau, you could write scripts in Python and R, and then you go and present it to your manager through Power BI. So Power BI accepts Python and R codes. So you could do everything here. And when you reach the visualization, like your correlation metrics, you cannot have them directly in Power BI. You code them in Python. Then you go and present them with Power BI's front end so that your manager on his mobile phone is able to log in like a normal report that you are sending every day. And then he sees new insights. So also for the cloud, we from the current trend of the pandemic, we also saw the huge increase in cloud adoption, so which is not going to stop. So, and then with the fact that the cloud is really developing products every day, so like AWS, we expect that you should be able to move to the cloud along with your company. So again, now the next question that we will be asking is, do we need to master all of these things? No, I believe that again, the knowledge should be T-shaped. You have a broad understanding of each of these tools to know when to bring them in. It's like your toolkit. You know, I need this screw, or I need
Hello, Mr. Bandolo. It's like we are not getting you. I don't know if anybody is getting from him. I don't know.
Sorry, you are not audible. Sorry, you are not audible.
All right.
Yeah, can you get me?
Yeah.
Yeah, we can get you now.
Did you lose me?
Yes, we lost you.
Oh, sorry. Oh, sorry. Oh, and I was talking alone. Where was I? Where was I? Can you please take me back to where I was? Are we here?
Do we have to learn everything, or the difference?
Okay. Yeah. Thanks. So I was saying that we need to have a broad knowledge, but then you need to specialize in one of these. So it could be a Visual Basic expert. I've seen a lot of jobs on Upwork where they are looking for Visual Basic experts. There are companies who don't want to leave Excel, so they need somebody to come and automate some of their tasks. So they need Visual Basic experts. So the SQL, you can go deeper with your SQL for data engineer roles, and then you can also go deeper with your Power BI to be able to produce very interesting dashboards, mastering your DAX language, digital analysis expression in Power BI. You can also go with your Python and R to higher levels with your development, because we have this problem of the data scientists, we might not be writing clean code. Can you get me?
We can get you, but we can't see the screen.
Yes.
Oh, sorry, I
right.
forgot to turn. I thought I was.
It's all right.
Okay. Yeah. So can you see the screen now?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes,
okay,
yes.
Good. So I was saying that because I'm on Upwork, I see a lot of jobs every day like this, where they need somebody who is not average level. Normally, you start with average at a small rate, so that later, subsequently, the current customers can give you higher tasks, or new customers can come in and recruit you based on your score. But you have a visual basic specialists that they are looking for. Just with your Excel, they need somebody who can automate their tasks so that they are able to do things faster in the office. They don't want to leave Excel. It's already what they are using. They just need you to do the job, and they continue with that. Then you also have SQL, which you have somebody who might now go deeper on SQL to become maybe a data engineer. So you can go deep here. You have also your Power BI, so you can be a Power BI developer and be doing dashboards. I've seen jobs like that even recently, even yesterday. My friend, an Indian, posted a job like that. That there's need for two skills: somebody Power BI to be taking care of a customer in the US to be doing dashboards, and then somebody with machine learning to be doing recommender systems for an online store. So you have your Power BI, you're a Power BI developer. You make sure that the reports you are able to do reports, very good reports, and then with your your DAX expressions. Then you also your Python R, you go to a high level, because I was saying the problem we have with data scientists or machine learning, that software engineers frown at us, is because we don't at times write clean codes. We don't even at times write efficient codes. We come to Python, we use a lot of for loops, when they might be expecting us to use data structures like use NumPy, or even go and use something like sets, use the most basic to cut down the time, because you cannot create an app or a face detection app on my phone where I have to put my face, then I go and wait for 10 minutes before the app gives me my results. So you can do all of that. Then you specialize in the fact that you accumulate that software development part of it, where you don't need the DevOps guys. You're just on your own, and your models are efficient and occupy less memory on the cloud. In the cloud, you save the company lots of millions. If the company has 20 million customers visiting the site, just the fact that you save the company maybe 30 seconds because of an optimization in your code as a software, with your software development skills in your machine learning model, then that will be helpful for everybody. So now that with that, now let us summarize so that we move to the questions, and then we are able to understand better with the questions. So what we summarize here is that first, analytics jobs are increasing, and they will only keep increasing. There was just a small slowdown because of the pandemic, but in reality, it is supposed to increase as the democratization with things like Power BI coming closer to everybody. Before, it was you go to the IT department to collect data, you go to a group of analysts to get data. Now Power BI, you can just install it, and then you create your dashboard and you share your story. So analytics is going to increase. Now we need stronger core skills like domain knowledge, critical thinking, problem solving, to be able to accompany the AI and be able to join in the AI and be effective. And then like understand your machine learning models. What is actually the deep learning model you are using? What is it really doing at the back? Now, what hyperparameters can you tune to optimize your model? Will it be the gamma? Will it be the number of iterations? What are you going to change here? You've seen this result is 90%. What does it mean? How could you get to 95%? So it's because you understand the core behind how the thing is working, and you can try several things. Tell the machine to try maybe these 100 options. Then you also have companies now want things faster time to insight. Can you quickly give me my report today so that I know where we stand? That is why Excel, that's why we are moving towards Power BI, which are real time, who can connect directly to your database. And with the Power BI server, the app, you can your boss can easily, from his phone in the taxi or in the car or in the bus, anywhere, you can easily consult your your data, your reports, even your data set, and then even propose change. Then now we need to realize the fact that AI is our friend, like your calculator, like your phone. It is there to help you. So we need to embrace it and even try to even propose and increase our efficiency. And then we know that cloud services are going to continue like that, because maintaining that upfront cost of having a data center, managing all of that at times, is better to just go to the cloud and consume your demand. In December, your consumptions might be high, just a period. Then in February, your consumptions go low. You don't need to change servers in December and change them again in February. The cloud is taking care of all of that. So we have two roles here. So let's talk about the data analyst side. You need that. You should really understand the domain. So if you're from the healthcare, you should really try to understand your healthcare and then apply now your analysis in your healthcare, so that you understand what the model is saying and what the figures are saying. It might say this, but you act the opposite, because it's just proposing. It's not telling you exactly what to do. It's proposing. Then you decide on what you really want to do, take the decision. Now it's good to learn your statistics and your SQL, because the data volume will be increasing. So you need to analyze it with SQL, query the part that you want, and then we just statistics need to be able to observe this block slot. Am I seeing a high variation? Is the interquartile range? How is it like? Am I seeing too many outliers? What is really disturbing, causing me to have this issue? Is it that I need to take the outliers, or what do I need to do? Do I have missing values with information or without information? I need to know. Then now for your exploratory data analysis with Power BI, I think that is something that is going to continue. The trend is going to continue. There will be a need for who can present us those nice, beautiful, and telling visuals, so that it helps us get investment, get people moving. So this need to use your picture to tell a picture is 1,000 words. Then also you can learn also machine learning subsequently, so that you can start building also your own, interesting stuff, end-to-end apps or application or models, so that you can gradually move to a full data scientist. And then on this other side now, those who are on the data science, who are like data scientist side, one of the major things is with Python, making it so easy, with the object-oriented programming in Python and making things easy, encapsulation, you don't even see what is happening behind the model. You just call scikit-learn, you just do things, you just call a support vector, you just call a model, and that's all. But then you need to understand what is it doing on that hood, so that you are able to know this machine's result doesn't look like what I expect. Maybe I need to do mine manually somehow, and then check and be sure that it is in line. So you need to go back to the basics and understand this. Even in interviews, we need to know clearly, why did you choose this model, and why did you choose these parameters, and what were the things that you thought before finally deciding to go this route. And also the software development thing is important to try to add to, because that is what makes you welcome to they'll really relate with you when they are building systems, because we need to be able to see you join with the control version. We can use your Git version control to commit, to be able to do some updates, push to the developer branch, then from the developer branch they push to the master branch. We need to be able to coordinate with the other software developers. Don't just be like an outlier with your models. And then now also we need to be able to realize that ML ops will be things that when someone goes to the cloud like AWS, he might expect the data to stay there. The data should stay there, and everything should be done there, which is faster and efficient, rather than downloading the data before treating it or building your model. Let's move the model towards the data and let the data stay there. We just go and we do everything where the data is, and we come out with our results. So I think that I've come to the end, and I'll just be waiting now for questions. Let me come out of the screen. Okay, so now, please, can you, and I have some questions from you.
Good evening, everyone.
Hello.
Good evening, Mr. Cyril. Hello, can you get me?
Hello, sir.
Yes, I can hear you clear now.
I don't know if the host is, I don't know if anybody's hearing me or if the host is still there.
I think I can hear you clearly. You just have to go ahead with your question.
Okay, all right. I just wanted to make sure. Thank you. So thank you very much for your presentation and for hosting this webinar. Yeah, I've learned a lot actually, because my focus was just data analysis, which you clearly depicted pretty well. And my question is, like, on the basis of what you explained, is it like an invitation to us that have only maybe data analysis skills to upgrade, or as you mentioned at one part of your presentation, to stay focused on what we have already as something that we as a belonging, and just improve within the frame of that belonging? That's my point. I want your advice on that. Thank you.
Mr. Cyril, I think there is a question in the text messages.
Hello? Can you hear me? Okay.
I think the host might be having some issues with maybe network or something.
I don't know. Can you get any of us now, Mr. Bandolo?
Yes. Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Yes, I hear you, but the sound is like, the sound is not clear, it's not flat.
Your voice is breaking. I guess it's the network.
Oh, sorry. Oh, what's wrong with the network? Yes.
I just joined. Has the meeting been on or?
Yep, and you come to the end.
Yes.
Question and answers session.
I didn't get you.
It's been on.
Okay.
Okay.
Mr. Cyril, we still cannot hear you.
Okay, let me see. Hello? Can you get me now?
Yes, you
Yes, we can.
Oh, sorry, I had to switch the network provider. The first one was having a problem. I think it should be better now. Okay, so please let's just go with the questions to clarify. Yeah, I think I've also lost the questions that were written on the chat. So please, you might need to write that again because as I came back, I've lost everything.
All right, just a second.
Can you get me?
Yeah, I think we can get you now.
Okay. So, okay. Sorry, this network thing times. Okay, so what is data analysis? Yes, it is. Data analysis is about collecting data, cleaning, analyzing, and then presenting the insight. It's just about using data to inform decisions. So I hope that answers it for you, Steph. Is there any software? Is there any way a software engineer can become a data analyst? Yes, of course. With your critical thinking, because the data is just that you just need a domain knowledge. You choose your domain, and then the things you need for a data analyst basically would be your SQL, and then your Python. Just depends too on the company. Some are still very well with their Excel, even though it is phasing out. So I hope I've answered your question. So if there's any other question, just type it here because I lost all the previous questions. Yeah, you're welcome, Alet.
I believe Mr. Jasmine had a question before.
Yeah, thank you. So I was Mr. Bandolo. I don't know if you can get me.
Yeah, perfectly, Jasmine. Thanks. I can get you.
Okay, my question was on the basis of your explanation and like descriptions, I wanted to know if you're advising, because me, I'm a data analyst. I just stopped at just data collection, cleansing, analysis, reporting, and picturing. I mean, using charts and picturing what I've got out of my analysis. But I was really interested in what you presented. So I wanted to know if one of the aim of this webinar, is it not like a call to us who are data analysts? Is it a call to us either to move towards being a data scientist, or maybe like a bit above of just data analysis, or is it like to remain in our domain and then just to improve again, but within the fact of being a data analyst, that's not just stopping at maybe Excel or maybe AP infos, those ordinary software to analyze data? Is it like a call to remain in our domain and improve in terms of quality service, or is it a call to export or to go beyond data analysis and maybe touch the level of data, being a data scientist?
Okay, that's a good question. The key thing about this field, the data field, is that first of all, it's a new field. If we look at it keenly, statisticians doing this. Now, when machines came in, computers, now we start giving it a good name, data analysts and all that. Before, let's just say even in the 80s or the 70s or the 60s, they were still analysts. So the key thing about us now is that we might need to be learning new things so that we keep up to date. So as you've done a lot of work with your data analysis, you might start picking up, maybe, for example, I'll start trying to understand what this machine learning is all about. For example, what is a linear regression all about? What is logistic regression? So gradually, it doesn't stop you, because what I will say is, if I have two CVs, if a company has two CVs, one is somebody who has done just analysis, for example, data analyst, for example, and it ends there. Then another person is done data analyst and can also continue with the chain right up to putting and maybe the complete end-to-end program online, model online. I bet with you, the guy will be more attracted to that CV of that person who can, do more than just a certain level. So you have a very good advantage because you've done a lot of stuff and you have lots of domain knowledge. You've done a lot of things. Maybe by now, some of the things you are doing are routine. So now, what you can do now with your spare time is maybe 1 hour, 2 hours. You can start exploring. So also open up your mind to the possibilities that you can even propose to your company. Because as a data analyst, you're like a consultant. You're the one who says, this thing is above me. We need a qualified data scientist to continue from here. This thing is above me. We need a statistician to come and design a perfect experiment. Let us get the real root cause of this thing. So you can also be stretching your learning to that. But then you can make your whole career as a data analyst, just making sure that you keep your management informed. You're listening to what they want. Then you go to the data people and collect, and then you give them what they want. You can make a whole career like that. It depends on you. But then you could also go and find out what they are doing on the other side. And then if it interests you, you could also add it. There's nothing wrong in adding. I don't know if the answer is better for you.
Yeah, thank you. I think I'll take the second option. It's always interesting to learn more and to do more. Thank you very much, Mr. Bandolo.
Okay, thanks, Jasmine. Wish you all the best. Okay, so I think also we've answered the question of Subamu says how to move from data analyst to data scientist. If not, just let me know. So, okay, now completed learning language on Python basic, like linear regression, forest I've completed and recently completed. So I want to know whether the skills that must be sharpened that will help me in data. Also, the part I'm working on is right. Do I have to do anything else? Please suggest. Okay, now I know you sent me a direct message, but then I think it will benefit some people here too. So it's about the next level of moving to a job. So what is there is that because data science, because this data thing has become up with lots of hype right now. And then also there were some people who lost their jobs maybe last year. They are coming back to the workforce and they were good data analysts. So it's not also easy. And that is where now, and there are lots of certifications online. There are lots of stuff like that all over the place. So the key thing now is what they want to know. One, are you able to do projects with those skills? Because you cannot, most programs don't fully teach you. I tell you, I really learned many of the things working and even on freelance jobs, because you have that stress, you have to deliver. You need to use Google to help you to solve some things. You need to go to Stack Overflow. It is all of that when they see that this guy can be able to handle a system. There's a shortage of senior data scientists. There's a shortage. Most of them are software developers that have gone and opened their companies and they have gone elsewhere. Entry-level jobs are having everybody, those who left from school, who have Google certificates, who have Udemy certificate, who have LinkedIn certificate, who have that. So the employer is trying to see who really loves what he's doing, not for the money. It's a high-paying career, but you need to prove that, one, you do it because you love it, which means I can sit and take a project and do it on my own. And then they like to see your thought process. That's why those who have blocks, you are like writing on how you solve the problem and how you chose this model. There are many notebooks online that you can go and copy. Jupyter Notebook, just go to GitHub and copy and say it's your own. But then the key thing is that we want to see your thought process. So the encouragement is that the project is almost as equal as the job experience. And when you do those projects, they look for you and they see you, like these Kaggle competitions. I'm on some Kaggle competitions. Some of them are on the same Kaggle competitions like you. So when now they see that you're having a good score, they'll contact you. Some of those bosses are there. So it's just that you need to show that you're doing it, you love it, and then not just that you heard that this thing is giving money. Then now you just want to do it. They'll be skeptical and they're not even sure that are you able to come and write efficient models that will not it will be efficient, will be able to, are you able to merge with our software development team because you just learned it in school and I mean, there are many questions they have in mind, and the best way to show them is by doing projects. I don't know if it helps somebody.
Yes, Mr. Bandolo, I just
Yes.
wanted to say that you just give a very important point that recruiters are looking for people who love their job, not for the money, but they also
Yeah.
want the skills that a person have. So I just wanted to ask you that how to improve these skills and how to practice even more for all these projects. How to create a unique project
Okay.
in
Okay.
Kaggle. I wanted to make a new project, but whenever I go to Google and all this, there's someone out there who's already made a project in that data set.
Okay. No, it's a very good point. Are you versed with web scraping?
No, sir.
Okay, well, I would have said
Sir,
maybe.
actually, I'm a third year BTech student right now from India, and I'm
Yes.
learning about this stream slowly.
Okay. No, it's okay. If you like the skill of web scraping can help you to go and scrape or get your own data, because one of the difficult things is getting data set. So
Yeah.
I understand you clearly. So you can get your data, and even if somebody has done it, you with your own angle, how you do it, your own touch, your own feeling, what you were looking for, what you're trying to prove. We are trying to see your thought process. So it can just be your way of presenting it, the way you were motivated to do that same project. So it is just that when you learn web scraping, if you can learn web scraping, it'll be good for you. It also shows that if the company doesn't have data, you can go and get the data for them, scrape it, clean it, do a model, maybe even host it online on some, let's say, platform like Heroku, where you host something and then send the person a link. This is my API link. Go and click on it and test it there. You see if it's working or not. Then the person tests it and say, it's working. You did it. Yes, I did it. That's the link.
Okay.
Yeah. So yeah, something like that.
Okay. Thanks a lot for the great session also, Bandolo.
Okay.
Thanks a lot.
Okay, you're welcome. So let me see who else again. Do I have so that's it. We have you say we need statistical descriptive for inferential for data analyst. Yes, you need to describe, you need to tell us. Descriptive would be how much we sold. Maybe this Mondays we sell more than every Fridays or Saturdays. That's like the descriptive is mean, variance, all those things that you are able to just quickly give what happened past mostly. Yes, then you also need maybe some inferential, especially when you're doing your machine learning, your sample. What is your sample you're using to be able to determine the population, from the estimate of the sample? What could, because those are the things that you understand behind. Python already has those kind of things written. R already has them, but it's just that you are trying to understand that now. I need a t-test. Now I need a chi-square, a chi-square test. Now I need ANOVA variance. So it's just that you just want to know, so that you can be able to know that this is what I'm about to do right now for this reason. And you can be able to explain to your manager that I used an ANOVA, or this descriptive, I used the mean. I did not choose the mean because I saw that the thing was positively skewed or negatively skewed. So I chose the median or the mode. That's why I chose the mode. So let us go with the mode to do our analysis. So I don't know if it helps you, BJ. Then we have what are elements for a network engineer to be a data analyst. Generally, with your critical thinking, most of the time, you are just able to see what are some things that maybe we need to be watching all the time, even in our network. It is how can we be able to make sure that we have the amount of the available capacity. So at some point in time, the key things that a data analyst needs is generally almost the same. Wow, what do you understand the domain you want to work on? And then are you able to use some small statistics to be able to understand that this thing shows that the network on one side is too much. This side is always consuming more than this other side. Should we go to the cloud with it, or we should not go to the cloud with it? So there are small analysis that generally you can do. I don't want you to look at data analysis like maybe like a job, like a specific industry that you go and get it from somewhere. Even in your current job, you are able to do analysis maybe start tracking what they are doing daily, put a tag every day, we note the amount, we note, then after 6 months, 12 months, we calculate and see, okay, this is what I get from what I've noticed, like the trend. These are the hours that we have the highest traffic. So what do we do? Should we buy some special additional bandwidth just for those moments? Those are the kind of things that you propose. Then you have I don't know, I hope it helps. So I'll be taking my, okay, thanks a lot. Yeah, and thanks. I had to leave. Yeah, thanks. It was great. It was open some thought for me. Wishing all the best. Thank you very much. Okay, thank you too. So so I think if we don't have
Sil, I have one question.
Okay.
First of all, it was a great presentation, and it was very useful for me. And I'm from India. I'm working as I'm a business analyst currently, but I'm looking to switch over to data analyst or maybe data scientist. So the whole presentation was really useful, and it has now helped me to set a path to become one. I have one question. So as a freelancer, you might have some difficulties. In getting the compute power for analyzing the data that you have. So what were the difficulties that you had, and how did you manage them? So did you get the compute power from AWS or maybe Azure? Did you buy it, or did the client give you the compute power to you, or how did you manage that?
Okay, no, generally it's part of negotiation with the client because it's in the cost. He's paying you, so you need to be included in the cost with all the GPU, so you know it's going to cost you. So at times, even let me just say, even at times, for example, when you're scraping, you might need to get some APIs to be able to avoid being caught. So you still need to talk with the client so that you can be able to get that in the costing, because it's part of what you need to get is the resources that you need to do the job. So if you need to get extra space, you tell him, I need to do this, these are the charges I expect, or this is the bill. So you just need to be transparent. At times I take a screenshot and I say, this is exactly what I'm doing. This is how it is. This is where we are. Just being transparent so that the person is able to know. It's just about being transparent about what you're doing. So don't try to incur a cost for you when you know that it's not a cost of, it's an external cost. So you need to be able to communicate with your client clearly, be transparent. And they like that a lot. They are very happy when you're transparent. You don't just say it, you screenshot it and send it to them. They say, wow, okay, this guy is transparent.
Great, sir. Thank you.
Okay, you're welcome. Okay, so we're talking about, Alet is asking about certification. For now, we're not yet offering them. We're focusing on knowledge, but I think subsequently we have to include that. But I want you to put first, the main thing for you first is the skills, so that you're able to use it first. Then now that one, certification, we have lots of it now. We need to be able to put the skills at work, get our projects out there, and then make sure that we market those projects so that we are seen like people who do. You don't learn just from a class. They give you the basics. The real learning is when you start doing projects. You yourself, you'll be blocked. You write a code you thought you knew, you're blocked, you're alone in the night, and you have to deliver that same night. You're forced to look for solutions, and that is the best way to learn. Okay, so I think that if nobody else has anything, then I think that we can call it a day. So, okay. So can you get me?
Yes, sir.
Okay, just to be sure. Okay, so I think that for me, that's okay for now. So let me, thanks to everyone for attending, and I wish you wish you all the best. I think what we'll be looking for maybe is to try to get some workshops to do some hands-on projects. Maybe it's something live. We need to try to be doing some hands-on projects, maybe to reinforce some of the things we are learning. Okay, so I think they call it a day. Okay, thanks.
Thank you very much, Mr. Vandolo. Thank you very much.
Okay, okay. Wish you all the best. Okay, bye-bye.
Thank you. You too. Bye-bye.